Yeah, I can see the glare and the red light.
So we're trying to do some more parent things throughout the year for parents to attend.
Okay, I am once again gonna, name our officers.
Okay.
We've had election of the officers, and our chairperson will be Nancy Brown, our co-chair Brittany Stewart, and our secretary Callie Boyd for the, 23-24 school year. Okay. Landon, I know where we have not changed PE programs, and we had that approved last year. Can you like give us just a brief overview of what we're using and how it's going?
It's called the Great Body Shop. It's a curriculum we've been using, I think, the last 2 or 3 years. It's really good. It gives the kids, they each get really a packet, and it's got a lot of visual, so they can see as I'm going through it, they can get a visual understanding of what they're supposed to be doing, how they're supposed to be learning, from their physical fitness to their nutrition, how they, what they feed in their body, and then how that's supposed to give them energy and everything else. I really like it, especially for the younger kids. They learn a lot of different things other than nutrition, safety, just in general, inside of school and outside of school. And so it kind of touches a lot of different areas. So I think it's really good. It's been really good. The kids have responded really well to it. So yeah, that's it.
Good. Landon, what about your little, Pee Wee, how did that go last year?
I thought it went good. We had, so I think
The little, y'all, the
Little
dribblers.
dribblers.
yeah, so it was good. Bearcat Madness is what we call it.
Bearcat Madness.
And so last year we had 120 something kids out there at one time, and so this year we're gonna ixnay them all being out there at one time because herding cats is an understatement. And so we're gonna kind of,
Especially if they all have a basketball.
yes, yeah, especially, emphasis on the basketball, yeah. So we're gonna split it up into like 2 different games. We're gonna do kindergarten through 2nd grade first, and then we'll do 3rd through 5th grade. So, and it'll give them more time too. So it'll be good.
I wanted a whistle after that. I was like, I just want a whistle to carry around school, and everybody just stopped.
Hey.
Every time I blew that whistle, they all were at attention.
He's training,
Hey.
so when they get to you, it should
Yeah,
work.
it all goes out the window.
Yeah.
I tell you, it took a lot of time to get there, so it was good.
Yes, you do an excellent job with them, Landon, you really do.
Well,
I just can't tell you
yes.
enough,
So
you
cute.
do. I don't know how you do it.
Well,
I don't know how you herd those cats.
we got good cats, I'll say
You
that.
got good cats.
We got good cats.
That's good. Okay, I guess now it's time, to review and approve the following mental health curriculum materials. And it'll be presented by the counselors, and I will just let y'all can see on the agenda, and I'll let y'all take it from there. Y'all know what y'all are doing. Okay.
Well, I will start with the human trafficking. I think Ms. Nolan sent that out, so you had information on it. And it's called the Blue Campaign, and it's from the Department of Homeland Security. And so, that's where we're going to use their information. They have the program ready for us. And so we took the information and we created our slides and things off of that, so you can look at the one page. It just talks to us that we have to educate the students about this. And the particular one also talks about dating violence, physical violence, sexual abuse. It goes into all that, but it's not overwhelming. We put in some scenarios so the kids have to feed back to us and talk, and whether some things are myth or reality, because like they said in this program, a lot of things, it looks like everything on television where it's a stranger maybe, and that's most of the time that is not correct. It's someone they know. It can even be a peer that's doing it, and so that's what we use information, because when the state put this in that we needed to be teaching this to the students, it's very difficult to find anything. They didn't come out with a program for us to use that says, here's your program. And so last year we had a guest come in and speak, but this year the counselor said they would rather present the information themselves to the kids. And so that's what they're doing on that. Natalie, do you wanna talk about, do you know yet? what-
I really don't have anything for human and sex trafficking yet. It is very, very difficult to find something elementary appropriate. The presenter we had come in last year, I just wasn't real thrilled with. If you've never worked with elementary kids and been a teacher, it's really hard to have somebody from the outside come in and do that. They need to know how to entertain 50 kindergartners at one time, or 30 this year, or however many it is. But, so I will be doing that myself in the spring once I'm able to find some materials, some things that I feel is appropriate, and I'll bring before you guys once I do.
As far as, suicide prevention, there is information we'll be using off the National Association of School Psychologists. We have the posters up, in case you're not aware, there's a new 988 number, so like the 911, kids can call that number, they can talk to somebody 24/7, they can do that. Last year, the Region 14, they've done a really, really good job now of putting in more mental health things for the counselors. And so we're in the Small Schools Consortium, and we meet with those people once a month, and they brought out their toolkits, suicide toolkits, and it had new rating scales, so everyone on each campus uses the same rating scales and information when we're looking at a student. And, you know, if there is a crisis, then we also have the Center for Life Resources out of Brownwood that will come in, with us. And then on October 2nd, we are also going to a training at Region 14 for crisis planning. If we did have a crisis in our area, then they have a team that will come out and help us, because under the circumstances, you know, the counselors themselves can be impacted depending on, you know, what has happened. And so they will come in and be with us also. But they have the whole notebook of, okay, this has happened Sunday night, what's the first thing we're gonna do, which form are we gonna send, where's our script for a telephone call, so that parents are prepared before students come in the next day. So we'll be doing that on October the 2nd and going up. We also, the CDC came out, they have a great presentation on vaping. And so it is there for us to use, that's what it was designed for, so that was in there, I think the main sheet on that, and it's for middle school and high school, and we just can't modify their slides, we can delete, but we can't modify anything on it, but it's got some really good information. And if you're not aware, this is a huge thing this year. I think everybody probably has gotten word that if you're caught with a vape, it's
Immediate
DAEP. And so we've been, and also then, I sat through a presentation last week from the Texas Health Safety Center out of San Marcos, and they're supposed to be sending more information out. There's actually a short lesson that the kids can do. It's not, it's, you know, if they're in there, then there's a little thing they'll have to do over vaping that talks to them about the dangers and things about vaping and why this is not a good idea to be doing. So that was in there. The family violence is also, again, covered in the human trafficking. And dating violence, we have a couple of options. Last year we used the Region 14 dating violence. We have their presentation, so that one was already approved. And Mindy's gonna talk about, you go ahead and talk a little bit about Go for the Gold before she gets here, just.
So Go for the Gold is a program from the Cisco, Life Center, and it is, it's called Open Door. And we just got back from Abilene, so I didn't bring all my stuff with me, but it's a really good program. We've all looked at it and have thought that it was a pretty good deal. They're gonna talk about, dating violence, and it touches on a couple of other things, but I'm so sorry she's not here yet.
That's okay. It happened to us at a CTE meeting, remember?
Yeah.
They got stuck,
Yes.
so it's just, they'll be here in a minute.
Yes.
We'll wait.
I
We can
think
always
it's
go
gonna be
back.
good. I hope you'll like it.
I bet they do.
Do you want me to just keep going into this next part about student presentations, kind of, that we haven't covered yet?
You can, and we'll just, when she gets here, we'll just go with that.
One of the things under the upcoming student presentations, We have been working with a program called Teach Up that's out of Texas Tech University. It's the mental health counseling that we do virtually. And so the counselors and I met with them in early August, or when we came back to work in August. And they also have a program called YAM, and it's Youth Aware of Mental Health. And we have asked to be a part of that program this year. And they will come in and do 5 lessons with the students, grades 8 through 12. And then it would be an ongoing with the 8th graders every year, but it talks to them about mental health awareness. Another program that has not started yet that is coming, this one, the RUS grant, is out of Region 14, and that is also going to be virtual counseling. And that's going to be through Abilene Christian and Hardin Simmons. And so their graduate students under supervision will be working with students. We have the equipment. They provided 3 large TVs, and Mike has those ready. If they're not already on every campus, they're ready to go. And we're just waiting on the guidelines. And we have a meeting with them on September 13th for the mental health out of Region 14 and that's our first program, is that, to talk about that program. And so that's coming up. And then, like I say, the fentanyl awareness is coming October the 2nd. We hope to have a large crowd for that. And then the DARE and the e-cigarette presentations will just be, Tara and Mindy will be scheduling those, presentations in the classroom. So that's what we have.
Okay, now I sent out several programs for y'all to look at ahead of time, because it's a lot. If we went over everything in here, it would take a long time. So when we finish the presentation, we'll discuss whether y'all approve of all of these programs so that we can move forward with them, or if y'all have any questions, about them. So, I guess, Mindy, I'm gonna turn this over to you now so that you can, and I'll get out of the way.
This is Kimberly Stevenson from Oak the Cisco.
Actually, it's the Open Doors Pregnancy and Family Resource Center.
I'm just gonna turn it over to you.
Can
Do
we,
you have anything else you
no
want to
ma'am, I just brought everybody some books, and my apologies for coming in. We got a little confused on the time, so I apologize for interrupting the meeting. Let me, get you a little bit of information about our center. So here are the brochures, our new center, and some of the things we do there. And then, here's just a little flyer, maybe about, the Go for the Go program, so, I'll pass this around, and there you go. So, did you want me to say something, or did you?
Yeah, if you'll kind of
Okay,
explain what it
sure,
is and what you'll do.
Did you get that one? All right. Looking there for my Go for the Go's actual binder, so the parents can look at that, if you please, it just says Go for the Go.
Zoned out.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. Thank y'all for having me today. Like I said, I apologize for coming in the middle of the meeting. I was a little confused on the times there, I guess. So, I just wanna thank y'all for allowing me the opportunity to speak. Thank you. At your SHAC meeting here in De Leon, Texas, home of the Fighting Bearcats and Lady Cats, so we're super excited about that. My name is Kimberly Stevenson, and I'm a student education liaison and a certified presenter. Then I also oversee this program. It's our student education program, which is called Impact Youth. And so, and accompanying me tonight was going to be the girl in training, Tara, but she is ill, so she won't be with us tonight. But we also have, we've actually, let me just stop right here and say, we had, so we're a pregnancy resource and family center. And about 2 years ago, I guess, we reach out in different directions. Like, obviously we help people, you know, in different aspects as far as like pregnancy, limited OB, ultrasounds, pregnancy tests, test and treatment for sexually transmitted diseases and infections, things like that. I work closely with the youth, so I work with like, Eastland County, Juvenile Probation Department and stuff like that, help kids who are on probation or community service, things like that. So we do outreach programs. And, I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But about 2 years ago, our executive director, Shannon Thompson, and our board decided they wanted to start a youth program where we reached out to the youth in the Region 14 areas and beyond. And so we started out with thus created the Impact Youth Program, and we started out with about 6 schools. Now we're in 16 in one term. So so this year we started out with 16. So we had to hire someone to help, and we hope to be in all, I think it's 44 Region 14 schools and beyond. We're even doing some outside of Region 14 right now. So, but let me get back to this. So, you should have the opportunity to review the Open Door pamphlet, the brochure, and it'll tell you a little bit about our Pregnancy and Family Resource Center. We've been in business established since 2007, and we are celebrating 16 years of public service now. So, last year we began to serve Region 14 School District, and we doubled our schools, as I said, in one short term. Our future endeavors include offering and providing student programs and services to all of Region 14 schools and perhaps more. We have centers located in Cisco and in Breckenridge. In addition to having 2 centers, we can provide services through our mobile unit, which travels around, and we actually come to De Leon once a month, I think it is. And so we travel around to, I believe 9 surrounding counties right now, maybe. And we have a physician's assistant, we have nurse manager and a team of nurses, licensed nurses, trained advocates and staff members, and we are able to provide many of our services that are needed in the area. And all of our services are absolutely free of charge, including this program, just because that's what we do. We're a nonprofit organization, and everything is free and confidential, and it's a non-judgmental environment. So we offer things such as limited OB ultrasounds, pregnancy tests, the STD and STI testing, diaper, formula assistance, community referrals, parenting classes, spiritual mentoring, and more. So let's see what else that I think you might be interested in as far as this program is concerned. All of our services, like I said again, are absolutely free of charge, completely confidential, and in a non-judgmental environment. At the Open Door, we have made it our mission to take charge and make an impact in today's youth by investing in new programs. We believe our children can take ownership of their destiny by making healthy choices now. These choices can be implemented in student lives by the knowledge and information they receive. So I am proud to announce that the Open Door Student Education Program will be offering the Go for the Gold curriculum this year. I have personally, I'm just gonna stop here before, it teaches the kids, basically, it is a program that is empowering and educates the young people to make healthy choices in healthy relationships, boundaries, dating, abstinence until marriage. That's what we're about. So I want to make that very clear so everyone understands it is an abstinence, not a risk reduction. It's abstinence before marriage. That's what we'll be presenting if we're able to go into your school. And so abstinence until marriage, success, finances, risk avoidance, and teen dating violence issues, and much more. All the curriculum that we're going to offer here, I personally go over with a fine-tooth comb, as well as my executive director and the board members and things like that. I have 3 kids. That's my daughter in the back there. She's about to join the Navy, so she's stuck. I'm sticking to her like glue. But she's going for boot camp on Monday. But yeah, all of them are the most current information, the most medically accurate information, and they're all it's all age appropriate material. So I'm going to be real honest with you. This last time we went to conference, we purchased what I thought at first was going to be it was like a $2,500 curriculum, and I thought it was going to be just this major curriculum. And I got in there and started looking at it, and I said, no, we paid $2,500 for it, but I don't care because it's not appropriate, and it's not what we're about in Region 14. I don't believe it was the heart of Region 14, and so we said no, and my executive director was fine with that. And I just did not feel like it was age appropriate. I thought it was too much, and so we just, I trained on it personally just so I'd have the knowledge, but we're not taking it into the schools. I have taught, this is my 2nd year to teach the Go for the Gold program. It is not sexually explicit as far as like, about anatomy and things like that. It is if I can say the word correctly, it's like a Mayu, am I saying that correctly? Mayu type of questioning to the students. For example, that leads into them being able to think critically, and what we're hoping for is an ultimate healthy lifestyle, an optimum health for all children, for all kids. And so, so basically, it just helps them to think critically, and it directs the students towards a lifestyle of optimal health. Overseeing this program is the executive director, Shannon Thompson, the director, Jason Whetstone, as well as our board members. And so, I am happy to ask any questions. I'm very proud of this program. It is something I would bring to my own kids, to my own children, and I absolutely have found nothing wrong with it at all. So it's my second term, and I'm the one that chose to take it on for a second term. And so it's something I can stand behind. I'm not a person that would stand here and say something that I didn't believe in. That's just not how I work. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer your questions. I think
So
that's about it.
if we did approve this curriculum, she would come once a month
Mhm.
to present it
To
to 8 through 12?
8 through 12, and
And then-
I've had some schools ask about 7th grade. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, she'd come once a month and present it in a huge group or in small groups or?
It would be by grade level.
Mhm. So it's per class. So I don't like to present to over 30 students at a time because I feel like they don't get the one-on-one.
So
So-
all freshmen would be together, all sophomores, all juniors, all seniors, and then 8th grade.
So
And the presentation is about how long?
it's about anywhere from 40 to 45 minutes long, something to that effect, just now. So, and like I said, it's basically I'd ask the question to the students, and then they would answer the questions, and then we would discuss it from there and go forward. And go ahead.
But is this something we, like in other things, we have to send parent correction home?
It's dating
Yes,
violence,
it's
so
an
yes,
opt-in,
we would
yeah.
have to opt in for it.
Another thing I like is that I implemented last year was, we sign a thing with the school, if they agree, and we agree, like a little contract with the school stating that basically there'll always be a teacher or a counselor in the room at all times. Because these are your children, they're your students, and I just believe their teacher or their counselor should be there, and that way if a student ever has a question or something, the teacher may think is more than what she wants in her classroom or something, which I've never had that happen, but that I always let them know right off the bat, you can say the word redirect and we will instantaneously redirect. So it's whatever, if a student happens to ask an off-kilter question or something, I turn that over to the teacher, or she says redirect and we redirect, so. Now we don't do that, so. The student books, handbooks that I brought you today, we can do the program with the handbooks, or we can do the program without the handbooks and just do the presentation, but that is as close to my book here, which are also welcome to view, as it gets. So that's about as close to the actual curriculum as it gets, the student handbook.
Is there one book for each student then?
Yes, ma'am, there can
And
be.
is it free of cost too?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, we'll make those available free, yes, ma'am. Anybody else have any questions, and you're welcome to catch me afterwards and ask any sort of question that you would like, and look at the book and things like that. Sorry, I just kind of came in a whirlwind, I'm a little nervous. I kind of came in, I was like, okay, here we go. But yeah, I feel very confident with this program, very confident. And that it is probably what you're looking for, and not more than what you're looking for. So, does that make sense? Not too much, but just enough, yeah, so. All right, thank you for having me.
Sure.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
this something y'all would like to take, look over, and then we could by email decide if this is what we wanna do instead of just deciding right this minute? Is that what y'all's preference, to look at it? Brittany, what are you thinking? You'd like to look through it? Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And my telephone number, I'm at the Cisco office actually, and I'll give you a card, I brought some with me in the back, has my email address on it. If anybody ever wants to just come and sit down with me and just, ask me you can tonight too, but if you just have questions as you go through the book, and y'all wanna sit down with me and you know, I can come here, you can come there, what have you, we can talk over the phone, and I can, you know, go over just anything in the book that you would like to know, and any ways that we do in the classroom, things like that, so.
I have one question, would we have access or be able to have a copy of the teacher?
So,
Because it's
I
got
did
to be
ask.
available to our parents.
Yes, ma'am, so I did ask, about that, because, and we're not trying to hide anything, so we're
Right.
like, absolutely. But this is put out by the, Elizabeth New Life Center,
Uh-huh.
and so I spoke with the director, Kim, there, and due to copyright reasons, we can't like make a copy of it really and
Right,
leave it.
right.
So that's why she said, you know, and I said, well, you know, it's gotta be available to the parents, you know what I'm saying, it's gotta be.
Yeah,
And so
it's a
that's why,
lot.
that's why I'm telling you, yeah, she was saying, you know, you really can't, she said, give them a student handbook, cause it's as close to
Okay,
your book as
so
you
this,
get. So
if a
that's,
parent looked at this, then it's.
yes, ma'am,
Okay.
and if they want to look at this, I will absolutely set up an appointment, I will come to them, they can
Okay,
come to me.
come and-
What, I'll do my best to get to them if I'm not in a school.
Okay.
But they can definitely come into the office and, view it and look at it and, you know, do whatever it is they need to do as far as asking questions and things like that, so. The other curriculum that I had had a lot of, pictures and things, and that's why I opted out of that one. I was like, we're not that's not what we're looking for. You know, we're looking for something informative, something educational, and something, age appropriate, so. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely, sorry I talked so fast.
No,
Okay,
that was
nervous.
That is just fine.
Yeah.
Thank you all for being so sweet.
Okay, so we will just take this and we will look over it and, I will shoot y'all an email and we'll find out if this is what everyone agrees with. I think that will be great. On these other programs, and yes, as Kay was saying, all the curriculum materials that we use for the programs has to be available for parents if they request it, you know, at the campuses, or we can here or somewhere, but we have it, we have all of it. So, on the other programs, Kay, if you'll go back over and we can decide now, if y'all want to, because y'all had these materials ahead of time, and we can decide whether it's okay, for the programs and what we've got planned, so.
The human trafficking would be the blue campaign, it's the Department of Homeland Security. The fentanyl awareness is the DARE program. And then the, oh gosh, I just went blank, vaping, that one is from the CDC. So that's where these programs are coming from on that. And then the dating violence again it would either be the Open Door or the Region 14, which was approved last year. Last year, we had Region 14 come out. This year, the counselors will do, and these are for grades, 6 through 12, and Natalie is still working on what because there is, I mean, there's a huge difference for, you know, we can work on the 6 through 12, but she's working on it, and she has several things that she's looking at. We all met yesterday, and she's trying to a lot of hers will be later in the year too.
And I think ours will be more, and the presentation was based more on just healthy relationships last year, is kind of how it was titled, and so,
But
that will be
letters
more
will-
our direction, but it will cover all of that.
And letters will be going home once it's approved and then, and goes to the board. Then the letter would go home and say, these are the programs being presented by the, you know, that if we had Open Door, the Open Door and the name of the person are the Leon ISD counselors, and these are the programs that we are using. And then it is an opt-in policy, where before, parents, if we didn't get something back, we assumed it was fine for them to be there.
Right.
And now it's not, it's an opt-in to the program. But
And we do miss some kids, I do believe, with the opt-in instead of the opt-out, probably the kids that need it the most.
And sometimes that's just because negligence to get anything back.
Yes,
Yes.
there's.
True,
there's-
too.
Not because
That's
they're-
true.
No,
Some instances, yes, I
Yes.
agree.
Parents
That's for
get
sure.
busy and it just gets, or it's stuff in a backpack, or,
Yeah.
you know, in the car, if you clean out your
I
teenager's
wonder if
car.
there's a way we could put it like accessible, like with technology. You
I
know,
don't
so
know.
you just have to go in and do it. It's so much easier.
That might.
Check
that's
a
the
box,
thing, that's
sign
a-
it off,
We'll
or-
put that on there, great idea.
Well, that's a good
Just do
idea.
a thing,
See if we can
opt
do
out,
that.
put yes or no, opt in, yes or no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we good with the programs that's been presented? Does anybody have any questions or anything that you may feel like we shouldn't? So are y'all good with all the, okay, everybody's good with that. Before we talk about the character, I was gonna ask you, did we do the tele-nursing last year?
We did.
How did that go, Megan? Tell us a little bit about it, for maybe some of the new members did.
It went pretty good. We mostly used it for, like staff kids. It wasn't bad. I know it's changed this year because CCMC's changing their, like registration system. So, just for example, say my daughter needed, she came, she didn't feel well, she's like, Mom, my throat's killing me. Well, I don't have time to leave work, you gotta get an appointment, so, what I would do would just contact CCMC, hey, I have a kid, they're sick, a telehealth visit at some point. They would go in and I would give just the parent contact information, his parent's name and number, they contact the parent, say, usually I contact the parent just to let them know ahead of time, hey, not doing so well, do you wanna do a telehealth, yes or no, whatever. If they say yes, then we contact CCMC, they'll send, like a registration form for the parent to fill out, they're going all like online as well, like all their registration, all their paperwork, they're doing away with all of it. So anytime you do a visit, any of your health insurance, all that's gonna go into one thing, so it's gonna take a little bit longer this year because the parent has to do all of that and register them as a patient before we can do a telehealth visit. But once that's done, it's only done one time, so, that'll be a little easier. They can.
That was the problem, like, no one did it, and so if their child comes in, it was hard,
Yeah,
Or
they
they get
sent
Yeah.
physical, physical, you have to fill out all this stuff, and then we had to carry that to CCMC. It was just a lot of getting them actually
So maybe
registered
it's
to do a
just
visit.
advertising it to the parents?
I think it's
you
gonna be a
think?
little bit, I think they're trying to work out their kinks on getting their online registration 100%,
Oh, okay.
like, up and going, all of that. And then they'll present something to us to give to the parents, like, hey, this is what we have, it's an option. If you wanna pre-register, no charge, but if you wanna pre-register as a patient to use or not use, then it would save you, the time on down the road if you needed it. Once that little part's done, she can pretty much get you into an appointment within about 15 minutes, with some provider. I think all their providers at CCMC are trained to do telehealth with us, and it went really smooth last
Good.
year, it really did.
I'm sorry I put you
no,
on
it's
the spot, Megan.
It's fine, I just wasn't really thinking about it, but yeah.
It just hit me.
It went well, and it was really helpful to the staff because CCMC, I can do, so say the doctor's like, yeah, sounds like she's got strep throat, let's swab her. I have we can swab for strep, COVID, flu, we can do urinalysis. I can do a pregnancy test. I don't think anybody on ours is gonna need it, but somewhere down the road, if somebody else
Maybe some of the
requested
staff.
that, more of a parent kind of thing, but whatever, you never know what you're gonna get, but we can do that, so we can do a couple tests, and then, they'll actually bring the medicine to us, the pharmacy will. If we use CCMC pharmacy, if you want a different pharmacy, you have to go get it, but they'll bring us the medicine, so it's really been beneficial. I wanna kinda use it more for other kids, not just
Yeah.
staff kids, but
Right,
I think
but you
once
had to
it gets
start kinda.
up and going, yeah. I think word of mouth, like once it gets out and people are like, oh, that's really helpful, they'll wanna start using it more, maybe.
It's kind of middle of the year whenever.
Yeah, they kinda rolled it out at a weird time, so,
Well, thank you for presenting.
and we're actually one of the only little rural schools in Region 14 that's even doing telehealth. The bigger ones,
really?
like Abilene, Holly, I learned that at my nurse conference this summer, nobody else is offering that, so it's kind of a cool perk. Yeah.
Well, good, that's good to hear. Okay, Now if we'll, I don't know if we're gonna use the same character education programs that we used last year, or if we're gonna do new ones. Natalie's shaking her head, so we'll start there with what we're gonna do for, character education this year.
Okay, well, I'll go real quick.
Okay.
Last year, I can't remember exactly where the money came from, but we paid for Second Step. It's overpriced, and the kids, I just don't think really enjoyed it. And they just weren't near as engaged as I would like them to be with those lessons. So I'm kind of doing my curriculum much like I would a teacher. I will have small groups starting September 11th, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I will see every single kid, 2nd through 5th grade, every week. They will come to me once a week, anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, and then kinder and 1st grade, I will go into the classrooms, minimum once a month, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so with that being said, I kind of pull from a variety of places. Whenever I do kindness, I'm gonna be pulling from Kaplan this year. It's all 100% free, and I've put, I should have sent this to you, I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking.
It's okay.
A lot of the individual small group lessons, I pull from another counselor. She goes by Counselor Chelsea, and she posts all of her things on Teachers Pay Teachers, which is just like a hub for lessons that a lot of teachers and educators pull from. But I will use all lessons, I would say 90% of my lessons from her. She has already prepped small group lessons that cover all of the things that TEA requires us to cover, and they are also aligned with ASCA, so that's really helpful, and she puts all of those standards on there.
Do y'all have any questions for Natalie?
Is that what did I cover everything I was supposed to say?
Mhm.
Okay.
We are not using the program that we used last year either. We used 2 words last year, and we found that it was kind of boring and very long. There were 10-minute videos for the kids to watch, and I was like, wait, that's too much. After about 3 minutes, they're checked out. So we are not going to spend the money and use that program anymore. Kind of like Natalie, we're pulling from different areas. We are trying to find things that that we find on ASCA or Lone Star Counseling, things like that we can pull, and from other counselors, things that we have found. So we are not using a specific program. We are also doing like a character trait of the month.
Oh,
And
yes,
so
yeah, I
we're
did see
doing that throughout all 3 campuses.
Mhm.
So we have that going. So this month is respect. So we're trying to incorporate that in classrooms, just like with teachers, just this is the word of the month. If you can incorporate this in a lesson, if you can talk about this just in casual conversation, do that, so.
And there are certain words that they
Yes.
have to go over. We also looked for the older ones, just ordering the book Character Count, so that there's lessons built in that they can pull if they want to pull something.
That was like $20 compared to
Yeah,
thousands.
yes, you're talking about $30 a book that they can pull from versus these others run anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500, so they're very expensive. And so as long as we're covering what the words that TA and the pillars of character has those words in it also, and so.
And we're also going, the 3 of us, to a true
Yes.
like counseling convention or conference the end of October.
Good.
So hopefully we can, pick up some more resources and bring to our next meeting.
For that, so let me know.
Okay. I think
You're not gonna turn
last
money
year's budget may have,
They think
plays
it's
on.
already
Yeah, I
covered.
think it
But
was.
I've got some,
Okay.
Title II that.
Oh, okay, like
Yeah.
if we find some
Materials,
resources
if you get
that
there and want
are,
something.
how there.
Okay, so are y'all good with the counselors building their own programs for the character ed? And I think will do a fantastic job, probably better than a program that they had for last year. So if everybody's good with that, we'll go with it. Okay, do y'all know of any other business or recommendations that we need to talk about? Are we good? Good. Oh, getting a thumbs up over there. Okay, so I'd like to again thank you for coming and presenting, and we will get back, the counselors will get back with you, but I think we do need to give the members a little time to look
Oh,
over it and.
absolutely, and we'll gather our stuff and go and let y'all discuss whatever you need to, but, I did want to say if it's okay that, another thing we're doing with the Impact Youth, and we just started this, and it's been becoming a huge success actually already, is that, on the back of we press out brochures, which I'll have to get y'all some of those as well, on our Impact Youth, and on the back is a QR code. So when you go to that QR code, it gives you some, it goes to our Impact Youth program, and it gives you some national hotline numbers and things like that, but what's so cool about it is it has a chat box. And so the chat box is a 24-hour day, 7-day a week, 365-day a year registered nurse that is available to our kids completely free. So for those who are reaching out and let's say, maybe they can't get help from an adult, or maybe their friend is having an anxiety attack or something, and it's not necessarily an one situation, but they need to talk to somebody, they know they can go to that chat box and it is to a registered nurse 24 hours a day, even in the summertime, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And so we're trying to partner with the schools to let them know, and if there's any way we can, get back with that parent or the counselor or whatever, we also try to do that as well. And so, but just to let them know there is an adult there, because some people don't have, necessarily a trusted adult to go to, and it may be the summertime at 3 o'clock in the morning, well, now they have a registered nurse they can speak with.
Okay, right.
Yes.
Good to know, good to know. And so, anyway, thank you again
Yes,
for
ma'am.
coming and presenting, and we appreciate it,
You're very
okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And, I guess if there's no other, business right now, I don't know of any big things coming up. Last year, Tori and Kay, set up a table to promote the SHAC at, the elementary Big Fun Day. And if y'all know of anything coming up where we can, what did y'all call it?
Family
night. It was
A fun day.
It was fun, it was fun, wasn't it?
It was the Christmas thing, and now we're raffling.
It's gonna be even
Cowboy
better this year.
Oh, that's gonna be cute.
Yes, okay, so anyway, if there's anything that's coming up,
that we do occasionally get donations from different people. In fact, we just got one from the welfare board, sent to SHAC to buy things
yes.
that we need.
And we do set up at each campus little personal items for students that,
Personal hygiene.
products and different things for,
And the kids
students
use
at
it.
the
My
campus.
kids, I have
Oh,
somebody
we
asking
use
for
it too.
deodorant almost every day.
Do you?
I
Well,
actually,
is that
so
something
I
we-
need to restock.
Is that something we need? So we'll let Samantha know. Okay, you got that, Ms. Quinn? No paper?
Yeah, I've got it.
Be nice to Miss Quinn, Kelly. She's the best note taker in the world. Yeah. She is the best. Well, do y'all have anything that y'all wanna bring to the table, or anything that y'all suggest, or y'all okay?
Well, I personally don't have anything as of right now, but I would like to know, if we do have any suggestions or ideas in the future, who we would need to be contacting. You through email? Okay.
Yes, were y'all getting your emails okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect, good deal. I appreciate y'all being here and doing this, it's very important, and I think it's good for y'all. You can probably put it on a resume. So, okay. Yes, so if nothing else, then I am going to adjourn this meeting, and Nancy Brown will take over next time, and I will.
She'll be so happy.